What do you? Oh, man, I didn't even get to ask you this early on. It was gonna be like, what's a song that could be the theme of the show? Like, what's a good song for you that you're interested in?
Like for this show?
Yeah, I normally always have a song, and that kind of drives the conversation.
I don't even know if it's a song, but I'm just like Candid Conversations.
Candid Conversations.
Yeah.
Is that a song?
No.
What is a good song?
I don't know.
Like, think of like anytime in your life, think of just the first song that pops in your head that you're like, oh, that's my jam.
It'll have to be something like that, urban sweet. Oh no, you know what?
Yeah, you thought of one. What?
Brent Faiyaz. Fuck the world.
Beautiful people, it's your boy Jonesy, the Love Coach, and you are on a special episode of Smoothie Talk. And after I release this one, we're gonna do, what's the word that I'm looking for? Like a string of episodes where I'm on the podcast and I talk with members of my family. So today we have my mother, Karen Joe Taylor.
That's
Smoking Joe. She said she used to run a 4.2 40 in high school, which I do not believe, but
I did.
Okay.
4.2, yes.
Well, yeah, but in this string of podcasts, I'm also going to be interviewing my daughters individually, and so you'll get to see our relationship. And you'll get to see, how they view me and how I view them. And you'd be surprised what the Love Coach thinks.
Okay.
All right. So how are you doing today or this evening?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Been under the weather, a little bit, but
oh yeah.
Yeah, but I'm good. I had that trifecta, that triple threat.
You had COVID.
No, I had flu A, flu B, and COVID. So
I don't even know what flu A and flu B are.
And they're like just two different types of strains. I think flu A is worse than flu B, and mix that with COVID, and oof.
Well, the family is glad that you're feeling better.
I am feeling better.
You look, healthy. Look like you're going to be with us for a long time. So
that's good. I'm pushing for about 130.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I only plan on being here for till 100 years. So if you pushing to 130, we going out at the same time.
Okay,
I wouldn't mind that. But how is life?
Life is good.
Life is good.
Yeah, life is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start from the beginning then.
Okay, like the beginning of what?
Well, first of all, let's tell my mother happy birthday. This is the day after her birthday. This is the 17th. Her birthday was November 16th.
Thank you.
1967.
You just gonna put me on blast?
Is that the right date?
No, that is the correct date. 1967. Yes. I'm very proud of that.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't able. So
everybody is not able.
Yeah.
What was how did you find out that you were pregnant? Yeah.
What?
Because we said we're gonna start out from the beginning. How did you find out that you were pregnant?
Like low key, I just kept like denying it, but like, mom was like, "You pregnant?" Like, what? No.
Dang.
And then whenever I would like, be just out and about, just like even just running around, and I remember one time I almost fell, and like, not that I had a, like a positive pregnancy test or anything like that, but I just immediately like caught my stomach.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, and it was just like, I don't know, like maybe instinct, mother's instinct, you know. I guess that's really kind of like when I really thought about it was when I almost fell,
Yeah.
So
how many months along do you think you were?
I don't think maybe I wasn't showing, so maybe a few weeks, maybe somewhere around that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I made a post yesterday, and it was like the first woman I ever loved, and I had to think about that because I don't know. Sometimes I get so fixated on just me and everything that I have going on,
Right.
and I'm always going in a lot of different directions. But I don't think I ever really take the time to like just meditate on the fact that like you were the person that brought me into this life, and you were the first person I ever loved, literally, and so yeah, it's a good feeling to think about. So all of you sons and daughters out there, think about who introduced you into this world, and then kind of meditate on that being your connection to this world. Like that's your lifeline. And so that was the first person you ever loved was your mother.
And like I did see that, and when I seen that, I was like, wow, okay. But then like at that same moment almost, I felt like, damn, like did I fail him?
Yeah.
Because it's like, you're saying, oh, you love me, and I'm supposed to bring you in and like protect you and everything. But, I was never perfect. I'm still not perfect. But that made me like think, like, oh, like what could I have, done different?
Yeah.
So
I mean, the way that I'm living right now and how I'm living, the joys that I feel, I wouldn't, change anything about my life. I wouldn't do anything different. You definitely didn't fail me, but on the flip side, do you think that I'm a failure? Because you didn't fail me. I mean, what do you think about, me?
No, I definitely don't think that you're a failure whatsoever.
Okay.
Matter of fact, you're you're very, very smart. You're very intelligent.
Thank you.
And you were a very deep thinker.
Yeah.
If anything, I think that can sometimes be maybe a tad bit of a drawback because you just in your own thoughts, and you don't necessarily listen to like other people. It's
Not
like
too much.
whatever Byron feels or thinks, that's gonna be like the holy grail until he sees different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an accurate depiction. One thing that I could say about you is that you have great insight. You kind of what's going on. So as I'm getting older, I'm learning to listen more because you be knowing. But I don't know if that's like a mother's intuition or what. But yeah, no, you have great insight.
But that's like even with Tracy, Tracy and I've been together for like over 20 years.
Yeah.
And he used to be like, "Oh, well, hey, you think you know me, but you don't know." No, I do know you, and I know you as well. I know Taylor. I know I know your heart.
Yeah.
I know his heart. I know his ways. Now, do I know like each and every little thing about a person? No, I'm not saying that. But I do know you. And I feel like if I know your soul, your heart, your spirit, and we connect like that, then I know you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
one thing that I know about you is that I don't know a lot about you. Like I know you, but I don't know a lot about you because again, as a child, and I tell you this all the time about my daughters, I'm like, they're selfish. They don't think about nobody but themselves because that's just the position. Like you birth a child, you give them everything, you take care of them, you feed them. And so we're not really made to think about others, and kind of, question, what our parents went through or anything like that. Because, I was having a conversation with my daughters. Well, every year on their birthday, I'll spend some one-on-one time with each of them. And one thing that I notice is that they love to hear like my past stories. And one of the stories that they love to hear about was the story of Takeda Wilkerson.
Really?
Yes. Because they used to be like, Dad, tell me about your old girlfriends and stuff like that. And, they just think it's so funny. But I told the story about how like it was like after football practice and I was in the bathtub soaking. It was a rough day. And I got a phone call and I picked up the phone and, I hopped back in the tub and I was like, hello? She was like, Byron, did you tell somebody that if you wasn't dating me, you would date them? And I was like, nah. And before I could even say no, because I got the letter right here. I had wrote this girl a letter saying that, if I wasn't currently dating this person, I would date you. But in all actuality, I was just trying to be nice. I wasn't attracted to that girl in one bit. They said she looked like Alicia Keys. And I was like, her elbow? Like which part?
Wow.
And so essentially what ended up happening is she was like, yeah, we don't go together. And I was like, so you're breaking up with me? And she was like, yeah, we don't, it's all good. But that was like one of my origin stories in terms of like loving women. Like she was like my first girlfriend, like my first kiss. And that really shaped my reality. But here's where it gets good. Because I talked to her like, years later and just talking about that situation. She doesn't see that. She didn't view that situation like I viewed it. I viewed the situation like I was trying to let someone down easy. But I never looked at it from the terms of maybe that hurt her feelings.
Her standpoint.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I'm saying? And she told me, she was like, man, I just thought you were so adorable. I thought you were so cute. I've always thought that about you. I've always liked you. But she just had to stand on business. She had to stand on business when that little light-skinned girl came with that letter like, yeah, man said he would be with me if it wasn't with you.
Right.
So it just as I get older, I learn perspectives. But I was sharing that story because I just was open to share with them. But, they really love hearing all the gossip stuff. And so I said that to say this, that I don't really know very many, stories about you, but it's because I guess I just never ask. And so,
Okay, so when you say stories, are you referring to the stories like of growing up? Are you referring to the stories of, like what area of life,
I mean, shoot, any area that you want to share. But I mean, anything that impacted your life that was, I was like, whoa, what kind of like in high school, what was high school like for you?
Well, first of all, I was dumb. I'm not going to say I was dumb. I take that back.
Yeah.
When I say that is I tried to fit in the crowd as opposed to doing my work while I was hanging out with these people.
Yeah.
And they're doing their work.
Yeah.
I'm just being dumb and not doing mine and flunking.
Yeah.
I flunked the 7th grade.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I got set back in the 1st grade.
Yeah.
So even like in the beginning, I just felt like, and then my birthday came late, So here it is. I'm going to be like damn near 20 years old, graduating high school. So, I dropped out.
Yeah.
But I am smart.
Yeah, no, you're smart.
I am smart. I just didn't play it smart.
Yeah.
So I went back, I got my GED. went to like Metro Tech, got some schooling, accounting, things of that nature, so that I would be able to provide.
Yeah.
So, but high school. I went to I did go to high school, but it was like in Texas.
Yeah.
And it was an all black school.
Yeah.
Black and Hispanic. That was a culture shock for me.
Really? Where did you were in Enid originally?
Yes.
And so it was Enid is all white. Yeah.
I went to Waller Junior High School. How does that sound? Waller, it was all white.
Sounds white.
Yeah, and so when I did transfer to Texas, and ended up going to I'm gonna say it was probably like 80% black.
Yeah.
Maybe 15% Hispanic, and then you got a couple of white people in there.
Yeah.
So so that was a culture shock for me, because I'm going into that school system with red hair, freckles, coming from Oklahoma with an accent.
Yeah.
In Texas,
I mean, they talk a little strange down there.
They didn't like me. Day one, they did not like me.
Yeah.
They wanted to jump on me, and I had to deal with all that. It was rough.
Dang, who tried to jump on you?
Who was it? Oh, this girl that I don't like your purse. Oh, I can't believe you got that kind of purse. You wearing them kind of clothes. Just hating, They didn't know me. Of course, when you're the new person, all the guys are gonna try to talk to you anyway. I was kind of cute anyway, so I'm just saying. And so they didn't like that.
Yeah.
And so I just finally got to the point where I was like, okay, all right, you keep on. I'm gonna have to tax that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just have to tax that. And so the day that I was actually going to fight her, she goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry this." And what?
Yeah.
Oh, now you didn't heard that I'm ready to fight you, and now you don't want none of this. You don't want, like you said,
fight.
You don't want this smoke.
Yeah.
Because look, I'm kind of crazy, to be honest with you. But
I believe it.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Huh.
But yeah, that was actually traumatic for me. So,
yeah.
Yeah. And then of course, I got pregnant with you, and then moved back to Oklahoma. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was let's see, when did you meet Taylor's dad? How old was I? What, 4 or 5?
Yeah, you was probably about 4 or 5. Yeah.
So in between 1 and 5, what was our life like?
Honestly, I would say it was rough sometimes,
Yeah.
but I did what I had to do, because I always had a job.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, "Oh, well, where'd you get this? How did you get that?" I work. I was always blessed to be able to have a job that paid more than the minimum.
Yeah.
I've always had a job where I was, a manager, or and I not to say that I didn't start from the bottom, because I worked at Baker Shoes.
Yeah.
And worked my way up, assistant manager, store manager, things of that nature, and then so. Yeah, but there was one rough patch, and I'm pretty sure I've told you.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I told you. You know, we had our apartment.
Yeah, I remember that.
A little 2-bedroom apartment. It was nice.
The apartment I got chicken pox in.
I don't think you got chicken pox over there.
Where is it, across the street from AK?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got chicken pox over there. I was, taking oatmeal baths, being rubbed down in calamine lotion. I was like, dang.
Okay.
I do remember that.
You probably got it from Leela.
Huh? Really?
Yeah. Yeah. You probably got it from Leela. But yeah. So over there, it was just like this one particular month or whatever, I don't know. But I literally had a potato.
Yeah.
I had some noodles, and I always did for myself. I never depended on anybody.
Yeah.
And it always took a lot for me. So if I finally ask you for something, that means that, hey, I need this.
It's dire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I like low key, I was tired, and I was like, okay, I got to feed my child, and I don't have any food. And at that point in time, I literally had gone to, to the state,
Yeah.
in order to get some stamps. I never like relied on food stamps or anything like that. I always tried to make my way. And so when I did do that, they were going to give me some that was emergency, in case like, oh, why don't you do this? And, but I had to break down, and I asked her, I was like, look, just give me some food, because like for a long time I wouldn't eat noodles anymore.
Yeah.
Because that's all I had a pack of noodles and a potato.
Dang.
And I'm just like, no, I got to feed my child,
Yeah.
So therefore, I broke down, and, I asked for help because I absolutely had to, that was, I would say that was like one of the hardest times for me. Yeah. But like, other than that, I really just always had a job and worked. And just tried to give, you the best that I could.
Well, I remember, I remember having a bike. I think I got a bike for Christmas, or it was like on my birthday. It had the training wheels on it. I think it was like a little black Huffy or something like that. Did I ask for a bike? Like, how did I even get a bike? Because I don't really. I remember that apartment. I remember, I have little memories here and there. But I'll tell you, it's so weird because I had that bike and it was in Oklahoma, but I learned how to ride it in Enid. So how did the bike get to Enid?
Because I moved out, and I believe I moved back to Enid.
Yeah.
For a brief period of time, and then I took your stuff. And,
okay.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, no, Uncle Billy had me out there talking about, if you fall, I'm going to whoop your ass. Hey, okay. Like, black trauma?
Yeah.
Like, this how we going to teach me to ride a bike? But, I guess I learned fairly quick, and I always had a bike growing up. So, yeah, but that was my first bike, I think. So, yeah.
It was your first bike.
Yeah, how much did it cost? You remember in that time? It was probably about 89. 90. I was pretty young to be riding a bike without no training wheels.
Right. I don't know. I really don't know how much the bike cost.
Yeah.
I always just tried to like make sure, and just, and I guess that's why everybody thought you were spoiled.
Yeah.
But I never looked at you as being spoiled.
Yeah.
You did have that rap a lot. They're just spoiled. What are you talking about? No, he's not. He's not spoiled.
Well, if I can, in retrospect, I never felt spoiled, but I also never felt poor. I don't know what the financial situation was going on, but I never felt poor. I've never seen poor. Christmases was always big. Everything,
Yeah,
I don't know how y'all did it. It's magic.
And I never wanted you to feel that.
Yeah.
Look, and as you say, in retrospect, so like, I'm not saying that, well, I guess I am saying, I had a shitty childhood. But there were 7 of us.
Yeah.
I mean, we got toys and, things of that nature. But I don't know. I felt like maybe I did lack, but I didn't want, I wanted to give you something better than what I had growing up. So I knew that, like, holidays and Christmas and stuff like that was important to me. I got a bike at Christmas one year. It was a 10-speed. But with 7 kids, you can only give so much to each individual child.
Yeah.
So you're going to just get like a couple of items. So
what do you think the mindset was behind having lots of kids. You know, because as we get further into, today's time and today's age, you find a couple of people sprinkled throughout that got 6 kids or 7 kids. It's not very common.
Mm-hmm.
And so what do you think the mindset is behind having lots of kids, especially if, the means aren't necessarily there? I mean, are you having a kid to raise the other kid? Like, I don't know.
No, like, I just think they just ended up like that.
They were just doing it.
Like, literally, I don't, like, with a mom, I have 6 siblings, so it's 7 of us all together. I don't think mom, she accidentally got pregnant with me.
Yeah.
She accidentally got pregnant with Howard. She accidentally got pregnant with Rosa.
Yeah,
that's 3
crazy.
right there.
Yeah, that's a
and
lot
she
of
already
accidents.
had 4.
Yeah.
They were accidents. They weren't really necessarily practicing, safe sex or anything like that, or having something that's planned. Yeah, I truly believe it just happened. And back in the day, if you actually, you get pregnant, you're gonna have the baby.
Yeah. When do you think people realize, like, I know, like, do you think Pawpaw knew, like, this gonna be a baby? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think they knew how to have babies back then, or like, do you think they associated sex with children?
Yeah, they ain't dumb.
No, because, like, I'm just thinking right now, there's so much that goes into actually having a kid. And so, like, when you think, a woman has to be ovulating and all of these different things.
Yeah.
And excuse my French, but, today's term is, pulling out. Were they practicing that back then, you think? Because I think that's how it's pretty guaranteed. I mean, you know how to have a baby. So if you're having all of these and you're saying it's accidents, I'm thinking maybe you didn't understand the procedure.
Honestly, I think they just didn't care.
Yeah.
I really do. I truly believe that they didn't care. I think the generation, like with my grandparents, they, well, like, even with, like, Big Daddy them had like what, 14 kids?
Pawpaw's dad?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Dang.
14 kids.
That's crazy.
2 boys.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And no, maybe back then, they were actually they were using it, like, okay, hey, it's all right. We can still do this because they can help chop cotton or whatever,
right.
Which is sad.
Yeah, that is.
But that's kind of like how I feel about that.
Yeah. So how was the time divvied up between, because you said it was 7 of y'all? How was the time divvied up between, like, what was your interactions with Pawpaw and Grandma? Like, how much time was spent? What did y'all talk about? What, you know what I'm saying?
What time?
Yeah.
There was no time.
Yeah.
Mom worked, Dad worked. There was no time. I was by myself.
Yeah.
Literally, I was by myself. I mean, my sisters were in the household, but I didn't have a relationship with them.
Yeah.
Only one that I like, I look back at pictures, even like, like a Halloween picture or whatever.
Yeah.
But any picture that I've seen and I'm little, I'm always up under my sister Mabel.
Yeah.
I was never up under Cheryl. I was never up under Kay. Me and Kay would, get into it. Mom, this might be a little too much, but like, I didn't even start my period till I was like 13 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. And, I was scared to like talk to her about it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I thought that was like, oh my God, I'm in trouble if I have one,
Yeah.
because she would approach me like, yes, I was just like, no, no. I like literally, I would have to steal. I would like literally steal like Kay's pads.
Yeah.
Or because I didn't want to have to ask her for them because I'm like, oh wow, okay, yeah, something's wrong here. I can't talk to her. But I take that and I don't blame her, for she had 7 kids.
Yeah.
She was working, You can bleep this out, but my daddy was a hoe.
Yeah.
And he was hoeing.
Wow.
And so, she's like running behind him. So you got her running behind him. She got 7 kids and, she got a job. And there ain't no time.
Yeah.
There was no time.
That's a strange dynamic, because whenever I was inserted into this reality, I didn't see any type of, non-relationships or, I didn't see any of the, scars from your upbringing per se. And I was brought into like, it seems like a big family and, Thanksgiving, it was always, food and a bunch of kids. It seemed like everyone was getting along from a child's perspective. But I guess that's what they say. Like, you ain't old enough to sit at the big table yet. I guess you don't really know what's going on. But, the cousins, we was like this,
Right. And here's the thing that I was just like recently thinking about, because, there's that little, what do you call it? That strife that's been going on here recently, with Kay and Cheryl. And it's just like, well, because growing up, I think what I did is I just fell in line, and everything was always, to me, good because I love my family.
Yeah.
Period. I still love them.
Yeah.
And I think the only dynamic that has really changed is that I woke up and I stood up for myself.
Yeah.
And I won't allow them to treat me any kind of way.
Yeah.
That's what has changed for me. The family is still there.
Yeah.
But I feel like, it was a thread that was just unraveling.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how weak that thread really is. I really didn't. I mean, we're still there. We still love each other.
Yeah.
But that there's a thread, that can snap at any time.
Yeah.
In any family, not just our family, because I thought we were just so put together. Oh, we love each other.
Yeah.
Nothing can break this, but like, if you don't fall in line and do what someone wants you to do, it can be broken.
Ooh, yeah. So that's going to get me to this question. And I wasn't going to release this yet because it's something that I've been working on and I'm going to make a video for it. So people may see it on like my personal page, but I was doing some reflection. I'm always in my head doing some thinking. And the question came to me and it was like, how do you know when it's love? How do you know that the relationship that you're in is love? Because at the baseline, love is just love. Love is something that builds. Love is something that grows. Fear is something that shrinks and destroys, and hatred and all those different things. Distrust, that's coming from, the opposite side of love. But I came up with these questions, and this is how you'll know if it's love. These 3 questions, and I'll ask them to you, and we can go back and forth.
Okay, I'm ready for this.
But the 3 questions are: what do you want for me? What do you want from me? and what do you want of me? And what do you want of me is like, what are the expectations? What are your expectations of what I can, provide to you? And then what do you want from me is what are your expectations of what you think I should give you? And then what do you want for me? Like, what do you want for me? And however you answer those questions, it should tell you if that's love or not, because someone that's for you is only going to want good for you. And then you have to ask, you have to challenge, are your actions lining up with everything you just said? What you want for me, what you want from me, and what you want of me.
What about what you want with me?
What you want with me? Okay. Go ahead and expound upon that.
Like with me, like, together, like what do you want out of us?
Yeah, and I think that would kind of, I like that. That would kind of fall under the umbrella of me, but I think I'm going to change of me to with me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what do you want for me? What do you want from me? And what do you want with me? Ooh, I guess I'm going to have to give you some kudos for just, you really did the thing on that one. So, okay, yeah. So you can answer and I'll answer. We'll know if it's love or not. Because a lot of times we say we love, but we don't ever think about our actions showing love. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Well, what does love encompass also?
Love is growing. Love is building. And that's really like a big... And that's
good. That's good.
Yeah, that's a big umbrella. But, if we go biblical, it's love is patience, love is kind, love is not jealous. But even when you look at everything it's saying, that's something that's growing. Mm-hmm. Patience is growing. Mm-hmm. Kindness is growing. Mm-hmm. Not being jealous is growing.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So anything that is building something, that's love. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So let me... And I'm not going to answer your question like in the sense that you want me to answer it.
Yeah.
How I am going to answer it is how what I got with Tracy.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So what I got with Tracy is, so when Tracy and I first met.
Yeah.
And he was like late one time because he used to like come up the road like every weekend. Every weekend.
I bet you had an attitude.
And I had an attitude one time because he didn't come.
Yeah.
But, something had happened. But this one particular weekend, he had brought me, it was a plaque.
Yeah.
I still had that plaque.
Really?
And that plaque means more to me than anything.
What's on the plaque? I've never even heard of this plaque.
Okay. So, you know what? You want me to go get the plaque?
Go ahead.
I know exactly where the plaque is.
Get the plaque.
It's on my dresser.
Okay.
I'll be right back. I was intending to get it.
Yeah.
It was on my dresser.
Yeah.
It's always been on my dresser. Always on my dresser. But, okay. So let me tell you about this plaque.
Okay. Tracy moved the plaque.
Tracy moved the plaque. It was on the dresser. So the plaque, it's a glass plaque. Mm-hmm. And it says, you get someone that you can walk down the middle of the road with for life.
Yeah.
With Tracy, it doesn't matter if you got hard times.
Yeah.
During those hard times, it ain't all, what do you call it? It's not all peaches and cream. It's not all huggy, lovey. And right. I know everything that you've seen, between Tracy and I, like in our relationship.
Yeah.
The only thing that you've ever seen is what? Good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good stuff.
I'm sheltered from the bad.
From the bad things. Even as an adult, and sometimes I think that was bad of me.
What?
To like not let you see, like the real life, because real life is hard. Real marriage is hard.
Yeah.
Real relationships are hard. Again, Tracy and I are 20 years in, and then some.
Yeah.
And year 6 or maybe 5, 6, 7, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like wanting to pull my hair. I'm just like, I can't do this. I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when I can close my eyes, or at the end of the day, when I think of him, I can smile. Even though, and I always say, you got to like a person.
Yeah.
If you like that person, oh, you got something.
Yeah.
Because you can like somebody, no, you can love somebody and not like them.
Right.
That love ain't gonna stand. I'm just saying, you literally have to like that person.
Right.
You have to like them. And I like Tracy.
Okay.
Does he make me mad? Does he frustrate me sometimes? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I know he got my back. And I know he don't mean any harm for me.
Yeah.
And I know he'll go that extra mile for me. He might be mad at me. But when we lay down, he still loves me. And he likes me.
Yeah.
And he can smile. Because I can smile. I can smile. We were walking from the back of the yard.
Yeah.
He had a drink. And I'm just like, why he got a drink?
Yeah.
And then so he's like, here, hold that. And I'm just like looking at it, I got this look on my face. And he already knew it.
Yeah.
He knew that look on my face. I was like, He's like, oh, you getting on my nerves. I was like, yeah. I said, you know what? I said, you getting on my last nerve too.
Yeah.
What about it? Move on. But you have to like a person, and you have to be able to go down the middle of the road with them. Because if you can't go down the middle of the road during tough times and like sustain, so like basically what I'm saying, like all the touchy-feely, the purple flowers and the yellow moons and all that kind of stuff. It ain't always.
Yeah.
But it comes and it goes.
Right.
Because sometimes I can just, I look at him and be like, hey.
Wow.
And yeah, but that's not always there. I'm just, being real. You have to have somebody that's willing to go down the middle of the road with you, be there for you during those hard times, those dark times.
Yeah.
Tracy went through a lot, from going overseas and coming back home. I went through a lot, him going overseas and coming back home, and just going through, just the PTSD and just everything, That's hard. That's hard life. But if you got somebody that love you and that's got your back and will go down that middle of the road with you, that's it. That's love.
Yeah.
So when you say it's patient, that's patience.
Yeah.
I learned patience with him.
I agree. I mean, like I said, I was doing some reflecting, and I was thinking about the dynamic between men and women. And even when I made that post, I was like, the first woman that I ever loved. When I think about a mother's love to her son, and I know people be like, oh, you trying to find your mama, and it is like, well, go be with your mama. But it's the unconditional love that you have, that is what's required to, to make it. Because, when I think about that question, what do I want for my children? What do I want from my children? And what do I want with my children? I want to make sure that they have the lives that they want. I only want to see, I want them to get the full experience of this existence. And I don't want them to leave any stone unturned. And it's like, well, then what actions are you implementing to show them that? And so, yeah, I just think that, And I don't know. Like I said, I'm doing some reflecting, but I think a woman should love a man like a mother loves, her son. And then I think a man should love a woman like a father loves his family, because I think that keeps that dynamic together. Because a father loving his family, what won't you do if you're if you're a good father,
Right.
So
exactly.
And before I even said, I said if you're a good father, being a father is hard, and so some fathers out there that aren't doing such a good job, I don't judge them because you don't know what kind of crazy stuff be going on in this world. You don't know what type of traumas are passed down, generation to generation, and to just write it off as this person is a bad father.
Right.
And go live like him for a minute, you know what I'm saying? See what he going through. It ain't all, So, but yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Okay. Okay. I do feel so let me recap. You said you feel that a woman should love her man / her husband like she loves her children.
Like she would love her child.
Like she would love her child.
Yeah. Because you just said whenever I was 1 through 5 and times was getting hard and you had a potato and some noodles.
Yeah.
I never went without feeling, unloved, which is, I don't know. I mean, unless I just like blanked out like some trauma events, like I got memory wiped by the trauma, but I've never felt unloved. The only time that I felt any type of disdain would have been disdain for myself. You know what I'm saying? Me not loving myself, because from the outside, people always adorn me. And that's just a part of my, that's just a part of my life experiences, people just loving me.
Right.
But I didn't really love myself at times because I don't know. It's like all the love that I was getting was unwarranted. I was being loved for just being normal. You know what I'm saying? Doing regular things. I was made to believe that I could, change the world, and I'm just really just doing regular stuff. And and I didn't so I never really pushed past that point because I got so much love, seemingly. I got so much praise for any little thing that I did. I never pushed past the point of mediocrity to me, and so that's something that I'm dealing with now, is just being better than mediocre. But yeah, no, I figured that out.
You know what? Like, I can say you are your mother's child. And the only reason I say that is because, like, low key, Byron, like, really, I don't have to do a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
and I hate to say that, but it's like I can do just enough.
Yeah.
I don't have to give my 100%.
Yeah.
But I'll still be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
I don't have to give my 100%, but I'll still be good. Which, for me, that takes away from me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not putting my best foot forward. Had I put my best foot forward, where would I be at?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where would I be?
I mean, you made a comfortable life for yourself.
Yeah.
We in this nice house on over an acre of land, and y'all have made a comfortable life for yourselves. But I feel you, because, like I said, to this day I struggle with that.
But just be your best.
Yeah, be your absolute best, and that's challenging, But hard work will always beat talent.
Yeah,
every time. So I'm working on that,
and you have to work hard. You really do. you know, just be your best at whatever it is that you do.
Yeah.
Like, cause I get ideas and like, I'm like, man, I could do this, man, I could do that, you know, but then it's just like, you know,
Yeah.
I could like do some stuff,
Yeah.
you know, and yeah, but it's just like, it's low key, you know, maybe I'm kind of lazy. You know, you get tired.
Yeah.
It ain't even me getting tired. It's just me like not having that that oomph, that
Yeah.
you know, just to go get it. You know, because you know, like now what I did work hard on is my degree.
Yeah.
I worked hard on that degree. And I think that's when a lot of changes like started happening because I had to self-reflect.
Yeah.
You know, and in that self-reflection, that was some ugly shit.
Well, tell me about that. Like, you know, what were you dealing with during the process of getting your degree? Like, what were you reflecting on?
Because like my professor would always like, okay, so we have to write papers, self-reflection papers. And it had to be your childhood. It had to be, you know, how you grew up. You know, you had to dig deep. And she was always, no, I need more. I need more. I need. What more do you want?
Yeah.
You know? And then so like I was forced to look at myself. I was forced to look at my life and dig deep and write all of this and, you know, deal with it. You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's when that's probably when I started like jumping and flopping.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, just like, you know, unhealed traumas, you know, it was crazy. But I worked for that.
Yeah.
I worked for that degree. I did. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, that's
I put
always,
in the work.
That's always been one of my to-do list is to, you know, go to school and get my degree and actually have it mean something. You know, I got a philosopher mind. I'm always,
Yes.
you know, and I want to be paid to think, you know, but in this season of my life, I really am pushing myself to the limits and really just being about everything that I say I want. And I'm gonna get it. You know, I'm gonna have it. It's just a matter of like walking into, you know, my position and being prepared. So, but yeah.
And it takes, again, time, dedication, and work. You have to work. Anything that is worth having is worth working for. And it ain't going to be easy.
Yeah.
You have to work for what you want in order to get it.
Absolutely. It's a non-negotiable.
Yeah, that's non-negotiable.
If you don't work, you're going to wither away out here somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and that's fine by the world. The world is not going to
No,
the world is not going to care.
The world is an ugly place.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It's a very ugly place. And you have to work for what you want, you know, and you have to work for relationships. And that's the only reason Tracy and I have made it this far is because we have worked for our relationship.
Yeah.
You know, and where we're at. And like we're in a good place, you know? Because like last year, my birthday, man.
What happened last year for your birthday?
Remember, okay, so like I went out, y'all took me out to eat, you know, at the melting pot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, prior to that, I was like, you know what, don't you ever do anything for me for my birthday. I don't want you to plan nothing.
Yeah.
And, well, don't do nothing for me. Well, what do you mean? No, that's who I am. That's how I show up.
Yeah.
This is what I do. So regardless if you want it or not, I'm still going to do it.
Yeah.
But this year, he's like, baby, what can I do?
Yeah.
Because he he understands the assignment.
Yeah.
And how important that is to me. You know, and like low key, really, what's important to me is family, you know, and just being around Mother's Day, like that picture we took, you know, we're all in there in the bed, that's $1 million to me.
Mm-hmm.
$1 million to me. My family is what matters to me. I wouldn't mind having a surprise party, like I gave Tracy on his 50th or whatever. But, that's, it ain't about all that. It's about surrounding yourself with the ones that you love.
Yeah.
And the people that said and wish me happy birthday, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
The ones that didn't, I don't care.
Wow, that sounds like a shot. Sounds like shots fired. Who didn't wish you a happy birthday? Is it the sisters? Is it my aunts?
Huh?
They didn't wish you a happy birthday?
Of course they didn't.
Wow, that's crazy.
Neither one of them. But that's okay. I didn't expect it.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it. As long as, like, you call me, you wish me happy birthday, you talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
You seen how I lit up.
Mm-hmm.
That meant a lot to me. That meant the world to me. Taylor and Destiny called me, sang happy birthday to me.
Yeah.
That meant the world to me. Tracy woke me up at like 1 o'clock, maybe 12 something. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
That meant the world to me.
Yeah.
The like Brian, which is Tracy's cousin, sent me a message, Rachel sent me a message. That meant the world to me.
Yeah.
But if you don't have time for me, I don't need that type of energy.
Yeah. No, I understand.
But that's what a birthday to me means. That's what Mother's Day to me means.
Yeah.
It's all about love for me.
Yeah.
I'm a love child. I don't know.
Well, yeah, they say Scorpios were born after, Valentine's Day.
Really?
Yeah. Valentine's Day is when the most kids are born, Scorpios and stuff like that, because it's set 9 months from February.
I never thought about that.
That's what they say. I don't know.
Wow.
But
never thought about that.
Yeah, a bunch of women not having no gifts to give. And it's like, I'm gonna give them something else. I'll give you some of this for your birthday. Okay. Yeah, baby. Thank you. What do you think? What is your spiritual life like? What do you, how are you spiritually now? Or with healing and trauma, where are you at?
Where am I at spiritually?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so like low key, and I know I be saying low key a lot. I don't know why I say that now. I don't even know where I got it from.
Yeah.
But Cliff.
Yeah.
Tracy's frat brother.
Uh-huh.
My brother.
Yeah.
He talks about, and it threw me for a loop. Because we've always had the Bible, Christianity.
Yeah.
But even back whenever, I was never just like, I've always just been a spiritual person. I've always believed in God, but now they have it like, our ancestors are spiritual as well, from Africa. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that the Bible's wrong. I'm not saying Christianity's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I don't believe in the Bible. I believe in God. I believe in a higher power.
Yeah.
I believe in God. So if I say my prayers, then I pray to God.
Yeah.
I believe there is a God, and He answers prayers. I believe in our ancestors. I believe in life after death.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just a spiritual person.
Yeah.
I
wish, because the way that we're talking right now, if you ever watch like interviews and, the interviewee or the interviewer is trying to like, pry and get a little deep and then you give the response, and they're like, hey, take a look at this clip. What did you mean here?
So what part?
No, so I'm just thinking like growing up, because we did grow up in the church, and you know, I don't know. It depended on what I don't even know what type of church it was sometimes. But tell me your frame of mind back then to now, you know, because you were always big into church. And there were times where you would do the little stroll around the around the pews. You know how they had the little walk train around the building. And, you know, you was laying hands and oil in the house, putting oil on my head, speaking in tongues. So, you know.
I still speak in tongues.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
You speak in tongues privately?
You want me to do it now?
Nah, because I don't even want people to, you know. I don't even want people to see that. I mean, I used to see, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to discover like the growth from, you know, back then to now, because I think I used to just kind of, now don't get it wrong, whenever I was in church, I did feel connected, because there is a connection. There is a connection, and there is an energy moving in the building.
Exactly.
And if you let the pastor guide you, before you know it, you're going to be falling out and walking around the building and talking about
right.
And you'd be like, I remember they used to try to teach us how to speak in tongues. Like, you just.
Well, it's a gift.
I remember, and I think it might have been a church in Louisiana where they was like, I don't even remember. It was like, get you a book of like different languages. There's like, get you like a Spanish book or something like that. And just read a couple and then just start throwing it in there. Like, like, you be like, yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. But they like the spirit talking. I don't know if I necessarily.
I don't know. Sound like you might be. I'm just saying.
They say Satan gonna snatch your prayers unless you disguise it in tongues that you can't even understand. I say, hey, that ain't about. I don't want no smoke. But no, I'm just being funny.
But no, I do still speak in tongues. I think I believe it's spiritual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if
like, you know, sometimes I feel like I want to go to church.
Yeah.
You know, just to be in that atmosphere, in that spiritual realm, you know, that God realm.
Yeah.
Not being Christianity or, you know, or no, but just to be among the people of God.
Yeah.
You know, and so if I'm among the people of God and I'm in that realm, then you feel that spirit as a as a congregate, you know?
A conduit, maybe. I don't know.
You know,
congregate like congregation, like in
right.
all in one one place.
And
Yeah.
so it'll be heavy.
Yeah.
You know. So you'll just have the Spirit of God there, and you'll be among it.
Oh, I understand that.
So yeah.
All right. Well,
but even, you know, if you think back, you know, to Africa, and I'm not gonna lie, I need to do research.
Yeah.
You know, because even back then when they used to, you know, chant and, you know, do all them dances and be, you know, all that. Yeah. You know, I mean, they're praying to their ancestors, to the gods, you know. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I believe in the ancestors. I believe, you know, we are the stars, because scientifically we are made up of, like, you know, stardust. Everything in the universe is made up of the same thing, which is strange, but I mean, I get it. Yeah. No, that's scientific. They say we're made up of stardust and stuff like that.
You believe that we came from I mean, that, you know, the Africa is the beginning. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because I know you got you have the white, you have the black, and you have Africa, You know what I'm saying?
I actually have a buddy, and he had a psychedelic trip, and he was telling me that in his trip, he got the message that we come from different places, like different planets, you know? Yeah, he said, people are basically coming from different places to congregate here, on Earth. And I was like, that does make sense, because these are questions that I cannot answer, and it'll always be a mystery until one day it isn't. But there has never been a case where something has come from nothing. For instance, when they say, what came first, the chicken or the egg?
But don't you believe that it started in Africa?
No, I think it started before then. I mean, this is a whole universe.
Right.
I don't think Earth is the center of the universe. But what I'm saying is, like, it's such a mystery how any of this started.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the story of, Adam and Eve, and if you look at all the ancient stories, story of Gilgamesh or the epics of Gilgamesh and all of these, the Anunnaki, they always say that something like a higher being, fashioned us and did like some DNA splicing to create, the human. But if God is all and energy and everything in all of existence is God and all of creation, I just scratch my brain about how was the first person ever created? Because the way that we reproduce is from, giving birth to a child, and there's a baby, but there's also a nurturer. And so where is the nurturer in the first man? Like, I've never seen a full grown human being just pop up and then have consciousness, say, oh, I am a man. And like there had to be an incubation period where, oh, we have a man. With anything in life, a bug, alligator, what came first, the chicken or egg? And then, yeah, like there's never just been a full grown chicken laying eggs. Who incubated all of this? And so that's my deepest, question, to the point where I start thinking, like, is any of this real? Because, or is this like just some type of simulated experience? Like, imagine if right now we're talking to each other, but you're really somewhere else, like in another dimension with a headset on, and you're just playing out this game. You know what I'm saying? But you're not aware of yourself. It's like The Sims or something like that.
Right.
Because, I mean, technically, like when I drive a car, I'm driving the car, but I'm not the car. And it's the same thing with the body. Yeah, I'm in the body and I'm moving the body, but I'm not the body. I'm somewhere else. And so, I don't know. It just gets a wormhole of thoughts that I'm like, I need to take more psychedelics to figure it out.
No, I think you need to stop taking them.
What was your experience like on psychedelics? Like, what was your we'll delete it out. We'll edit it if you don't want to talk about it.
So, like, I think psychedelics are good for some people.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're good like all the time.
Yeah.
Like high doses of them.
Yeah.
When I did it, I so I was having a conversation, and I just feel like 2 weeks later,
yeah,
I'm still feeling like, and I'm just like, but I know this isn't how I'm supposed to feel. It's like, because I know that there's some stuff that's like really going on.
Yeah.
That sack of potatoes ain't on my back.
Right.
And I feel very relaxed, with it. I just feel like, maybe if you do them, maybe dosing could be good for people.
Microdosing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually high dose experience expert. Yeah, so I've been listening to a lot of podcasts talking about psychedelics, and these are all science-based podcasts. I'm listening to neuroscientists, and they're talking about how effective psychedelics are with treating PTSD,
right.
trauma, and all
I
those
believe
things.
that.
Yeah, but so here's the thing. I've learned some new things about what it's actually doing. And so one of the methods that I would use in, how I guide people is pretty much, I don't want to interfere. I just want to be present, and every experience is different. You work with what people give you. And so some people are open and they want to talk. Some people are reserved. Some people are a mystery. You're like a mystery person because you don't want to share. You just be thinking in your head, like, what's going on with her? And so, but basically, in terms of like shrooms, Molly, LSD, ibogaine, ketamine, all of these substances are documented. Like John Hopkins, hospital, they've done all the research. They're treating people with these things right now. But what it is that there is a window. It's called like neuroplasticity. And so you are you because of everything that you've been through, and it has solidified the brain, but basically when you take psychedelics, you have like a 48-hour window to really dredge up and deal with whatever it is that you're working on. And so if there's nothing in particular that you're working on and you just take psychedelics and you bring up all of these feelings and then you don't even address them or handle them, then that's not going to benefit you. So it's like you really have to go in with a plan. Why am I taking this? And then once you figure out why you're taking it, after you take it, you start dealing with those feelings and emotions while you're there. And then that's what sticks. That's the behavior that changes, but with you, I'm just like, man, it's a good time. It's going to change your mind. It's going to be transformative, but I was saying that and I meant it. But as I get more knowledgeable in the area of high dose experiences, because I've been doing this for quite some time, I'm learning more information and I'm learning how to provide people with the information so that they can help themselves and heal themselves and, so on. So yeah, whenever I did it with you, I was just, roll the dice. Not really roll the dice because I knew you was going to be okay, but I'm just saying, like, I was just young in my knowledge of the area. So, and I'm always going to be growing and learning more information. So, yeah, those neuroscientists and those, the psychedelic community and maps, all of those things played an instrumental part in me having more knowledge. So, but yeah.
Well, so like for me, I just feel like if a 2-week period or a week and a half, and I only did it once.
Yeah.
And I was still like just so relaxed and like, yeah, it's not bothering me. So if I was to do it again, that means that's going to start over. You know what I'm saying? So my brain is always going to be altered.
No.
You know what I mean? And so you're not able to, so if there's something that should ordinarily bother you and it doesn't bother you, then you're altered.
But why do you think that is?
Because of the chemical that you put in your body. No,
it's not the chemical. The psychedelics just show you. They just show you a deeper perspective. But the issue the area where I feel like I mishandled you is because I'm not a forced person. I don't, what I'm saying? I don't force, I flow. And so sometimes, like, we didn't really talk about it, you know what I'm saying? And as I'm talking to you, you kind of giving me a little weird energy, and I'm just like,
What do you mean?
Like, you're not very open. You know what I'm saying? You're very reserved with the information. And so it's like, some people that I walk with, you be like, I love you, brother. And they be like, oh, everything that happened in my past. This is what I've been needing to feel. And it's just like, oh my God, I see it now. I get it. You was just over there like, look at my face. I was like, what is going on? What is she doing? And she like, look at my face. He was like, what you think of this? I was like, what? I was like, I don't know. I was scared to look at you. I was like, I'm just listening to music. I'm just sitting back listening to music. Like,
well, I tell you
like
what,
this song.
you played it off very well because you were like, yeah.
It's your world. But that's what I'm saying. Like, and so you really want to be mindful of the mental state that people are in while they're on it.
No, I was angry.
And I don't know why. I'm like, what's she mad about?
It was like all that trauma.
Yeah.
I was angry because I've always had to like walk around with a smile on my face all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Anybody look at me like, oh, Karen's smiling today. She's always smiling. She's so happy.
Yeah.
No, I show you what I want you to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I showed you.
And that's, and that's the thing. Because, it's like, no, you should show people who you really are. They deserve to see it,
Yeah, and that's what I was showing. Like, this is it right here.
Yeah, because then you're having a real experience with someone versus maybe I may be showing up to the party and I'm like showing you me and you're showing me this smiley version of yourself, and I'm like, I have a relationship with.
But I've always had to protect everybody. You know what I'm saying? I've always protected you. I've always protected Taylor.
Yeah.
And not so you guys didn't have to see that. You didn't see what was really going on. Even when growing up, no one ever seen my face.
Yeah.
It was a clown face, if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah.
I was always hidden.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
And I mean, that's the thing. It's like no one has to. It's not expected of. Well, I don't know. I don't know. It just depends the situation. I don't feel it should be expected of people to have to be strong all the time.
Right. Exactly.
Because,
exactly.
Yeah, I just don't think that should be expected of people. You should be able to show your emotional range.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I completely, totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, most definitely.
Now, I don't know how long we've been going. I think it's past the hour, but we're gonna end it on a good note. What do you? Oh, man, I didn't even get to ask you this early on. It was gonna be like, what's a song that could be the theme of the show? Like, what's a good song for you that you're interested in?
Like for this show?
Yeah, I normally always have a song, and that kind of drives the conversation.
I don't even know if it's a song, but I'm just like Candid Conversations.
Candid Conversations?
Yeah.
Is that a song?
No.
What is a good song?
I don't know.
Like, think of like, anytime in your life, think of just the first song that pops in your head that you're like, oh, that's my jam.
It'll have to be something like that, urban, sweet. Oh, no. You know what?
Yeah, you thought of one. What?
Brent Faiyaz.
Uh-huh.
Fuck the world.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Dang, that is a perfect representation. Yeah, we're gonna slip that in on the edit. But yeah, what is one thing that you think the world should know about me, your son?
About you?
Yeah. What's one thing that you think the world should know that maybe they don't know?
You're brilliant.
Okay. All right. I'll take that. I'll be brilliant.
You're brilliant.
Let me think. One thing that I think the world should know about my mom. And I got a couple of things, man. Boy, y'all just do not know. My mother is a crybaby. And
yeah, I am a crybaby.
When she like cries, her tears shoot out. They don't come down her face. They're like, she's like, so that. But my mother has always had my back. That's one thing, and she is a phenomenal woman. I really don't have any bad things to say about her. You know, I might be biased because you raised me, but I've never had like a negative thought. Oh no, there was one time I hated you. Oh my God. I'll tell this quick little mini story.
I probably already know it.
I tell you, this is the one time she had me going. Oh my gosh. I am spoiled sometimes, I guess. But it was my senior year prom. I went to prom my freshman year and my sophomore year. Cause, I guess the ladies thought I was fly. But I asked, my mom for some money for a tux, and I had like a 95 Ford Taurus that she had bought. This thing was a blessing because it was getting me back and forth to school. But she had a newer Ford Taurus. It was like a 2004 or something like that Ford Taurus, and this was in 2004. And basically I asked if I could use her car for prom, and she said no. She said, take your own car. You want me to take this ugly Ford Taurus to prom? And I was like, I absolutely will not do it. And I thought she would budge, and she did not. And I cried. I ran into my room, and I jumped on the bed, and I did like the, I hate you. He ruins everything. I'll never forget that. That is a trauma story for real.
And you did not go to prom.
I did not go to prom. I had a date and everything. And I feel bad because, what was her name? It was Jessica McNeely. And she was my friend, like real friend. Like we was gonna go to the prom as friends, and she had everything picked out. My mom had gave me this money for to go get a tux. And man, I took that money, I pocketed it. I think I
got a piercing.
Yeah, I got my eyebrow pierced. What was you going through? And Jessica was so upset. You know what I'm saying? And I feel bad. Like if I could go back, I would not have did her like that on prom for real. Because I really felt bad because I was throwing a fit. You know what I'm saying? If there was a tape of that, I would release the tape of me acting crazy, crying, boo-hooing, 18 years old, and just boo-hooing because you wouldn't let me use your car. When I think back to it, you're not spending any time in your car at the prom. Like, I just wanted to pull up, fly or something like that. No, you're not spending any time in your car. You're going inside the dance. Niggas drive regular cars to the prom. So that's embarrassing to me. But I did hate her for that day. I hated her. Oh, I was boiling hot.
Wow.
But yeah, no, that's the only memory that I have of my mother where I was not happy. But other than that, I had a pretty good life, and I was sheltered and kept away from the evils of the world. And so, yeah. So if y'all want to know anything about my mother, I only hated her once. And outside of that, she's always loved me and protected me. And she willing to lie to the law behind me. So
yeah,
just know that. We'll strike that from evidence if anything ever happened to me. We won't use that. Hey, this is for entertainment purposes only.
Entertainment purposes only, but I got his back.
Yeah. All right. Well, I love you.
I love you too.
All right. Well, that's a wrap. Finished.
It's a wrap. Okay.
How much time is that? Hour and 27 minutes. Perfect.
Cool.